Welcome to Soul Awakening Conversation, Emerge and Flow. I'm your host, Sandra, and we are embarking into an open, grounded, and intentional space. I said international. I make myself laugh. Where we get to explore the many ways of our spiritual journeys and how they've shaped us. We are here to share stories, our gifts, our challenges, our awakenings, and honor the space that they moved us into and then allowed us to flow out of. Emerge into and allow us to flow out of. So let us flow today. Let us emerge and let us flow. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. One person's journey does not mean that you have to do exactly what they do on your journey. You can take the information as it emerges to you, as it flows to you. If you want to make changes in your life based on what somebody else has done for theirs, discern it. You can judge it too. That's a free will choice. So, to this podcast conversation, I'm going to be inviting in Jelisa from Priestess Potions. She is here to open doors to the infinite possibilities of herbs and remedies, of embodiment of your body, your mind, and your soul. So take what resonates for you, and let's invite her in and embark on a journey. So she has just entered, and as soon as she sends the invite, we'll invite her in. Right? She's going to open the door to her infinite possibilities, her past, her now, and even her future now. All right, here we go. I'm excited.
Hello, Sandra. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? I'm
I'm doing great.
oh, you're glowing. You're glowing. I'm so excited to have you here to share. It's a little bit more than what I did in my last podcast, which we talked about our first awakening
Yeah.
and how we moved through that. This is going to be, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Feel free if any of them make you uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know. We'll go with the flow, and I'm quite sure the divine will have another question for me to ask. But it's about the flow of life and choices and gifts and how it's moved you through your journey
Okay.
of life, right? And what I'm learning is it's a constant, as we constantly learn, we constantly shift.
Yeah.
And sometimes we shift to places where we never thought we would be. And then we have to, when we look back on how we got there, some of the things that we thought were the most horrific things that would have happened were the best catalysts. So, I hope that we can share this with the audience, and hopefully they gain some insight and intuitive wisdom from you.
Ooh, And that's a beautiful thing to talk about, considering not that I'm super glued into all that's happening right now. I've made a conscious decision earlier this year to take a step back from the news, to be quite honest. And so every so often I get into it, but I don't live there in that world. But I know a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things happening that might feel that way, like it's the end of their world as they knew it. But
Right.
there's a possibility that it could be a catalyst for positive change, you know? So I think this is a very like beautiful conversation that we can kick off. And I'm hoping that it does meet the right person, the right ears at the right time in the right way, so that it helps expand the way they're seeing themselves currently and how they're living through, how they're choosing to live through a situation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm trying to get my camera to, you know, hey, this is the what a podcast cast host does, right? We try to get the right angle
Yeah.
when we're wearing all the hats, right? So,
Oh,
are you
yes.
able to see the guest, not guests, the comments come in?
I think I can. I
I mean,
can.
um, you might not be able to see as they join, but I think when they make a comment, you should be able to see them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, but so that I don't block your face, I'm going to just let if I wave at them, then all of a sudden the comments block your face,
Mm,
right? So
I
we want
see.
that I want that beautiful shine, you know.
Thank
So as they come in, when they start commenting, I think you should see it. So
Gotcha.
everybody, welcome in, and we're going to
Mm,
get started with the first question. And I decided to I wrote my questions down exactly how I wanted them. So I'm going to read them instead of like go with the flow on that part. Okay.
yeah.
Because I got it precise, you know, not
Mm,
perfect, but precise.
yeah.
So you describe your potions as tools to elevate your energy and stress and support a vibrant libido, right? Which
Mm,
are deeply connected to our personal power.
mm.
What inspired you to start creating herbal blends? And how do you see them working on both the physical and the energetic level?
Oh, wow. Sandra, no one's ever asked me that before. I've done a lot of in-person engagements and online ones as well. And, people ask me about myself, but no one's quite asked it in that way. So I'm really excited to talk about this. Wow. Yes. Yes. Your sex, that energy is life force energy and it is connected to your personal power. And so I actually got into herbs when I felt like my personal power was actually extremely low. I was working in a corporate environment. It was a nonprofit, but it had that sort of corporate feel. And I was dealing with incredible, crippling imposter syndrome. And I had gone to the medicines that I had access to help myself feel better, just a little bit better, which it didn't elevate me out of the situation, but it gave me some relief in the sense that I was a little bit outside of my body when I was taking the medicines. And my favorite medicines was marijuana, which is a medicine, beautiful teacher, plant teacher,
Mhm.
and wine, because I wanted to be able to relax and let go of my workday, which was something I struggled with for a very long time. I didn't know how to turn that brain off.
Mhm.
Um, and I wanted to be able to sleep. I couldn't get myself to calm down enough to sleep. It was a very vicious cycle I used to be in when I was dealing with that imposter syndrome. I felt what I called wired but tired. I always talk to people about that feeling of like needing energy, and so taking a bunch of things to get energy, whether it's coffee or people drink energy drinks or whatever, and so you get the energy from the artificial energy from these drinks, but then you're wired all day, and
Mhm.
because you never got the proper sleep because you're doing all the things during the day, you're also tired. It's
Yeah.
like a something you can't escape. It was like a hamster wheel. So anyway, that's the place I was coming from, and I was slowly kind of trying to find my way out with spirituality, and partially with herbs. At the time, I used to go to events because I'm from New York, and there's a big spiritual community in the city, and there's all types of things you can go to. And I wonder if people will feel this. I used to hope and dream that if I just did one more cacao ceremony or one more Reiki circle, all my problems will be solved. And when that didn't happen, I didn't understand what was wrong. And so one thing I picked up because I was naturally curious about it, I was naturally interested, and it gave me a different type of relief, was I started to work with herbs at home. I
Mhm.
wanted to figure out a way to help myself feel better that lasted longer than a 90-minute cacao ceremony or whatever. Even though cacao is amazing, it's amazing medicine, it's heart medicine and all that. I just needed lasting results. And so I started working and learning about plants and plant
Mhm.
medicine. And lo and behold, I learned that, you know, plants, nature, essential for to live a holistic life, to live a life that I think, for me at least, I'm talking about myself, to live a life that is balanced. I don't, for most of human history, we didn't live the way we live now. Indoors, most of the day, if you live in work in an office or urban city, um, with shoes on, you know, and, concerned about how we're going to live and survive, but not in like the hunters and gatherers type of way, but in the anxious mind type of way. Like everyone's concerned about money and everyone's concerned about themselves. And, community, we think about it differently today. So, anyways, going on a tangent. Let me come back. I discovered plants.
You
Everything
know,
is connected.
sometimes I'm a Gemini, so sometimes tangents take us to a place where we need to go, and
Mm,
it's usually guided by the divine.
mm. Oh,
She's speaking. Can you see that? You can see that
yes.
now. So
Yes, she was
anybody
speaking a
who
language.
who's coming in, what happens is she cannot see you when you come in, when it just says that you've joined. But the moment that you make a comment, she's going to see you. Okay.
Mm,
So thank you for coming in. So we're going to
yeah.
continue now. And
Yeah.
I'm going to, for those who are coming in, I'm going to let you know what question she's answering. The
Hmm.
first question that I asked is, or that I said to her that you describe your potions as tools to elevate energy, reduce stress, and support vibrant libido, which are deeply connected to personal power. What inspired you to start creating herbal blends, and how do you see them working on both your physical and energetic levels? So, this is where we're at right now.
Thank you for reiterating that. That actually is helpful. But truly, um, I had a desire to live in a body that felt safe to me. And for whatever reason, what I was getting at is modern living, the way I was living before, wasn't making my nervous system feel good. I was overworked, depleted, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, hooked on sugar, and lacking seriously in community, right? Because all my friends were doing the same thing I was, overworking or going to college or whatever. And so I discovered that when I went home, after a trip to this famous herbal shop called Flower Power here in New York City. I don't live in New York City, but I'm very close. And I would take a morning class. Imagine, I live outside of Manhattan. I'm traveling into Manhattan, 45 minutes away, to get there before 10 a.m. so that I can take this herbal class at the, early in the city. Um, and I would learn just a little bit about herbs, and I would buy the plants, and then I would just come home and make medicine for myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing with these, I'm making medicinal honeys, I'm making teas, I'm making this and that. I'm learning about the plants, and I'm making body butter, and I'm using them on myself, and I discovered that when I'm using my hands and I'm working with the plants, something happens. I'm transformed in the process while I'm making the plant potions, and on top of that I get medicine out of it. And so that hobby sort of evolved from, or calling, from just making things for me to offering to other people, to my mom. I'd show my coworkers. Yes, I was that coworker, the fun kind of hippie coworker, that's telling you about the body butter. I made it over the weekend and I want you to try it. Um, I it extended to my, immediate community. And as I learned more about plants and their power, I felt like I was starting to have a deeper experience with them. Um, I remember doing a cacao ceremony, and the cacao was working inside of me, and I had this beautiful vision of a humongous tree. And I saw all types of mushrooms and luminescent plants growing off of the tree, and I got this deep sense like, hey, we're here and we want to help you, humanity.
Right.
So whenever you're ready, you can come to us. We're willing to help you. I remember I got this vision, and I spoke it during that cacao ceremony, and I just knew like I was meant to work with plants in some way. And so this idea for Priestess Potions, which is the name of my apothecary, came to me because I was working with the plants to find my power, to
Mhm.
find my stability, and to make my nervous system safe. Even today, so many of my herbal remedies have to do with the nervous system, anxiety, helping your body and your mind find stability
Mhm.
um, in the wake of life. And so that's kind of my origin story. And I would say the plants work with us physically and spiritually. And this is very important. And it's the reason why my business is called Priestess Potions. Otherwise, you can go anywhere and get herbs. You can go to Amazon and buy herbs if you want, you
Yeah.
know, but it's when you understand that the planet is alive and the herbs are so potent that even when they're cut and dried, they are medicine and they're working on you. You have a different experience with them because you're more open to receive. It's not because they're necessarily suddenly supercharged. We have that
Right.
term, super herbs, or, superfoods. That's what it's called, what they call it.
Yeah.
It's, I believe all herbs are created equal personally, even though they express differently and may have their own personalities. um, what I find is every herb is has its own personality, but they're all equal. I don't believe the ayahuasca plant is necessarily more important than lavender in my world. Um, and they all have their own duty,
Yeah.
or yeah, or message or offering to humanity.
I
But it's
like
up
that
to
word
us.
offering. I like that
Yeah.
word, that vibrated with me. And Nomad says, oh, I love that. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She said she loves that you found it for yourself and are helping to bring it to others. And
Yes.
the thing that I want everybody to know is that herbs, and usually when people hear the word herb, they immediately go to marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the thing about marijuana is before it was deemed bad by quote unquote by people who wanted to tell a different story about it, it was an herb that the divine had created for this third density place that we live in. It takes on whatever story a person wants to give it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear her talking and saying the words herbs, and all of a sudden you made a judgment about, oh, they're talking about weed, I suggest that you listen to this young lady talk about. I've watched some of her videos while she's making these different drinks, her blended drinks and her herbs for herself, right? And she's only suggesting that you might try it. Because
Mm-hmm.
how do you know it works for you? My mother used to say, how do you know you're going to like it, Sandy, if you don't taste it? That has stuck with me my whole life. because
Mm-hmm.
I have to taste it to know that I don't like it. I can look at something and go, oh, that looks really terrible, and then find out it tastes really good, i.e., collard greens. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I looked at those for a long time and went, yuck.
Yeah.
And then one day I just tried them. My mom said, here, she gave me just a little bit off of her fork, off of her plate. She'd never put any on my plate, guys, but she said, why don't you just try it? And from then on, I loved it. It
Mm.
doesn't mean it's right for everyone, but when it was time, it became right for me. And Mother Earth gave it to us, and the scientists and the drug administration, they use everything that is in their man-made medicine has Mother Nature in it.
Yes.
Okay. So even if you're taking man-made medicine, it came from Mother Nature and it came from the energy of the divine. You just have to decide what story you're going to give it. This is why I want you, when you're listening to her, don't judge it, don't discern it, just listen.
Mm-hmm.
It's an open space to just listen.
Yeah. And I'm so happy you brought up man-made, we'll say medicine, because I don't know if the other word might get us flagged on this
Mhm.
platform. But I think we're trained and we're all in this, many people actually, I won't include everyone, in this trance that we think this man-made medicine, which is far more recent than herbs, is more potent than the stuff it comes from. Where so many of the things they use in modern and allopathic medicine, all of it comes from nature, and they
Exactly.
package it and they take out certain chemicals which divorces it from the whole plant, so you no longer get the benefit of the whole plant, but that's another conversation. And they give you this thing that is supposed to treat this specific symptom and ignores the whole entire body. Nature doesn't work that way. With herbs, the beauty of it is you get the spiritual benefit because nature is alive, it comes from life.
Mhm.
Okay, herbs come are life. They are alive. Even cut and dried herbs, I believe, respond to our energy and our intentions for it. That's why I do so many coffee in the morning videos. Sometimes I feel kind of funny telling people to talk to your coffee or talk to your herbs when you put it in your coffee
Oh, I
and you
talk to
start the day,
everything.
because it's alive. It's all vibrating with its own energy and it's interacting with your energy.
Yeah,
So,
even man-made medicine is alive. It's a vibration. That's
mhm,
why I tell people you can change the story of
yes,
when your doctor gives you. I never tell anybody to stop going to their doctor.
no,
I give everyone I tell everyone, take an opportunity to start to learn how to add other things into your life before you all of a sudden stop taking medicine, or your high blood pressure medicine or whatnot. It took me quite a while to become acclimated to beetroot powder,
mm,
right? I haven't stopped taking my high blood pressure yet, but I take the beetroot powder um, with it.
mhm,
Okay. I speak to both of them. I speak to the pill that the doctor has given me, because the
mhm.
pill that was created with a story of it's going to do a service for me. It will do a service for you, but it has attached to it the what do you call it, the the problems that come along with it.
Yeah.
You might have this after effect, you might have this. So I speak to it for only the effect of lowering my blood pressure, and anything else I give that story back to the divine. Now that's me. That's not going to be somebody else. That's
Right.
me. I am going through an alchemization story, learning how to alchemize energy, because energy is in all forms, right? So, but the best thing, it took me to I started with beetroot powder, and I would put it in a smoothie, or I would put it in orange juice. Sometimes I wouldn't have fresh oranges, but I didn't give up. I had, orange juice in my refrigerator. I put some orange juice in the blender, and my beetroot powder and my noni powder, and blended it. While I was blending it, I was speaking to it while I was taking my other medicines that I was taking for my my healing from things that my surgery and my radiation treatments and everything. I was speaking to it, giving it a different story. Every pill that I take now, it's gone down to just 2 pills. I still speak to the pills in the morning. I thank them. I thank
Mm,
them for giving me, an opportunity to to live long enough to experience herbs and powders and Mother Nature, so that I could change my process.
mm,
It may not be 100% perfect, but what I'm finding is I don't have to be 100% perfect. That doesn't have to be my health and healing story. One day it might be, and then that book is closed, and then there's something else. Can I ask
mm.
you the next question?
Yes. And one thing I will say before we move on is I think the beauty also of the plants, speaking to them is good, but they also come with their own story. They have the wisdom of the elements that went into feeding them, housing them, shining on them. And also, you have the conversation of whatever land it comes from. You don't just take cacao from Ecuador or Peru and you're not in, and think that you're not in conversation with that forest when you drink it. So there's this other benefit to taking herbs that I just wanted to speak to just now. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, yes, because I feel like when I get my noni powder, my noni comes from Hawaii. I
Yeah,
think Hawaii, and the noni fruit is Hawaii, and it's that island
tropical.
based, yeah, tropical based, right?
Yeah.
And then I do my soursop, which is, I think it's South American based and whatnot. And I feel the power
Mm-hmm.
of where it grows,
Mm-hmm.
of 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 the soil that it serves, right?
Mm.
Right?
Yes.
And so, and I get to say thank you to it
Yes.
all. Thank you for what it's doing, and thank you for being I get to thank it for me being able to get it, even
Mm.
if I like right now, the easiest thing is for me to go. I go to my Amazon, I say soursop, and it
Mm-hmm.
gives me, like, okay, it gives me drops, but I haven't found a place where I can get soursop leaves yet. I,
Mm.
I have leaves that I've got in my freezer from a friend who sent me some out of her her stash,
Mm-hmm.
as I would say. So I freeze them, and I only have to take a few leaves, guys, and put it in. And I boil it in 2 cups of water, 2.5 cups, because that half cup might boil out just a little bit, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's literally, I have this little shot cup, right?
Mm.
And and I take a shot, and somebody says, "You're so brave because soursop is so bitter." And it was like, all I do is give it thanks, hit it back, and right, and,
Yes.
and give it and feel its power, because Mother Nature has a power,
Mm-hmm.
right? It has a
Yes.
power,
Yeah.
and it's talking to your body, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question. The libido is often talked about only in a sexual context. At least when I hear about it, it's all about your sexual kind of thing. Even in the spiritual world, it's in our spiritual kind of conversation. We talk about the sex first,
Yeah.
right? But your libido helps you create,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's deeply tied to creativity, vitality, and your personal magnetics. You know,
Magnetism.
yeah, that's the best word. Your push pull. I
Mm-hmm.
think. How do you approach your libido work?
Ooh.
You
Oh,
know,
wow.
what do you wish more people understood about that?
Okay. For so I don't do a ton of libido work specifically. It's not something I teach, but I work with a mentor who you
Hmm.
know, Parrish Blair, who is official Sexy Spirit TV, and
Yes.
she works with sexual energy. You know, she
Hmm.
is the sex goddess in my world, you know. And
Hmm.
so I've learned a lot about what she calls sexual science from her, but just a bit. When it comes to me and in my world, for my libido is very much so connected to my emotions, to the way I'm taking care of myself, how I feel about myself, how I feel about my world and my situation. Um, my what I guess you could say even I feel anger even is attached to that as well. And when certain things in my world are out of alignment for me, my libido is impacted. So if
Hmm.
I'm feeling guilt about something or shame about sexuality or just shame in general, maybe about the way I look, because I know I've gained weight, which is that's another conversation. It's fine. But I have gained
Hmm.
weight. So if I'm feeling shame about my body, that affects how I feel I show up in the world. It also, I feel, affects my libido. So my libido and my emotions are very much so connected. And so for me, what I wish people understood is that connection and how the way they think about themselves and the way that they feel about their lives actually affects their sexual energy and their life force energy. And I
Right.
agree with you about it being creative, but I feel just going back to some basic manifesting, right? The way you think, talk, and behave affects the things that show up into your world, and it absolutely affects your sexual energy. And your
Hmm.
sexual energy is, I think, because it's creative energy, what everything else is made up of, especially the things that show up in your life. It's just a little bit of you outside of you. Um, so, in to clear your sexual energy, I have, well, not to clear your sexual energy, I have libido enhancing potions like my honey. And
Hmm.
honey drizzle is a beautiful plant potion. I've made it in a honey, of course, because you want to sweeten the pot, of course.
Hmm.
And it has libido enhancing herbs from the Ayurvedic tradition as well as traditional Chinese medicine. Um, because a lot of those systems have been very much so researched and are respected. So I wanted to use herbs from those specific systems. And so honey drizzle in and of itself is a beautiful, potent medicine for anyone wanting to get back in touch with that part of themselves. But sometimes what I share with people is as you go on this quest to tap back into that sexual energy, creative energy, life force energy, you may bump up to emotions that have been waiting for you there. For some women, it's in their womb. I talked to a woman who purchased honey drizzle and her relationship ended. And I'm not saying your relationship will end because you take honey drizzle, but I'm saying what she shared with me is there's a lot of emotions that were waiting for her there that she wasn't ready to face about her relationship until she started intentionally taking the potion and really paying attention to what is going on in her body. So
Right.
that's something I think we should pay attention to, how our emotions affect us and how it shows up in our with our libido and our sexual energy
Right.
and how it might be affecting your sexual energy, your creative energy.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because there are so many things that we have pushed down.
Yeah.
Because whether it's old stories in our life or whether it's just we grew up with a um, certain information from whether it's parents or school or just society or whatnot, and then we push down anything that bumps up against that,
Yeah.
that wants to try to, um, I'm trying to think of the right word, to, to elicit change within
Mhm.
us. So we push it down, right? You know, and a lot of the time, and guys, a lot of the time, your sexual creative energy isn't it doesn't have to be that you're having a problem in your sexual life, you know, with your significant other, your husband, your wife, your, you know, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or just hello, welcome in. um Sometimes it's about being told, you know, when you were a little kid and you drew a picture for, I don't know, your mom, and the picture didn't make sense to your mother, and she told you, or you drew outside the lines in class, and you were told, oh, you know, you have to, what's wrong with you? Don't you see the lines?
Mhm.
Something's wrong with you, you know, and you're constantly told that. It's pushed down even in your childhood, and it interferes with your creative libido
Yeah.
as well. And creative means that cre- the creativeness of who you are is everywhere.
Mhm.
It's not just in your vagina or your penis. It's everywhere. And
Yep.
it can impact, but it can impact you in the thing that you use the most. So if you're not doing art or you're not doing music or whatnot, but you're trying to perform in the bedroom, but you don't get the I guess not respect, but the I'm trying to think of the right word, where your husband doesn't say, "Oh, that was great," or your wife doesn't say, "Oh, I really like that," and give you like a great big huggy kiss on the cheek, and, you know, fall into your arms and feel that good feeling. Then you feel like you didn't perform or you weren't creative, and it can be impactful. It can show up in all those ways. So when she's saying that if you take your honey drizzle and you start becoming aware of your body, it can open up things that things within you that have been pushed down, that you need to work on. And the word need, you don't need to do anything. You can just live a life and be exactly who you're being, and take the honey drizzle and perform well sexually, surface, and that be perfectly all right. But she's
Mm.
just wanting you to know that if you go and you purchase her honey drizzle, you're possibly going to open up a dark night of your soul. You're going to open up a part of yourself that's saying, "Hey, I haven't seen you for a long time. Why haven't you?" And I'm about to cry because somebody's going to need this. Why haven't you talked to me? I've been waiting for you,
Mhm.
right? So it's opportunity. It's opportunity meets intention with,
Mhm.
I believe, with her potions.
Yeah.
I just believe that. Thank
Mhm.
you for that answer. Mm.
Thank
All
you.
right. Third question. And remember, at any time you can stop me and you can ask me a question. We talked about that already. So
Mhm.
I'm open to you guys too. Okay. So the third one. You are currently sharing your journey with the 21 days of Qigong.
Mhm.
What's been unfolding for you during this practice, physically, spiritually, and emotionally? How does Qigong complement your work as an herbalist?
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's been a journey. I've shared up to day 4, but I'm actually on day 40 as of today.
Right.
So it's been a beautiful practice. I've gotten to watch myself over the course of one full moon cycle. That was my intention. Um, And it's been interesting to see myself go from excited about this personal challenge that I'm sharing with the world to, oh my God, I'm still doing this and I can still do it and I'm still excited and I have the resolve to, I really don't want to get up today and do this. It's raining and I don't feel like it. I'm tired. It's cold. I want to get back in bed. Forget this. No one will know I didn't do it today, but I'll know I didn't do it today. So let me get up and just do 10 minutes. Like I've gone through all the phases of the moon, so to speak, emotionally, and it's been very interesting. And what I've noticed is this. I approach this thinking that everyone should do qigong because it's a chi building exercise coming from the Asian traditions, um, that helps you flow life force energy through your body, which is amazing, um, especially at the start of the day. And then I'll follow it up after breakfast with like a 45-minute walk on most days, again, unless it's raining. And it's very helpful to me with my herbs and in my life personally, because what I notice is when I'm in my general mood, which is a good one, all it does is help clear my mind, clear my energy, flow energy through me so I have more energy to get things done throughout the day that I want to get done from a clear mind and a clear spirit, if that makes sense. It
Mm-hmm.
does make sense. Of course, it makes sense. So that's what I've noticed. However, for me, I thought that if I was in a negative space, and there's been some things, some news that I did pay attention to this month that got me a little bit off of whack. I saw the Charlie Kirk thing happen. We won't get into that, but when I saw that news, it kind of took me off my normal vibration, my normal mood. It made
Mm-hmm.
me feel wobbly emotionally, to be quite honest. I got way too involved in the news around that. I see now. Um, I was trying to do qigong to help clear my energy, around how I was feeling or whatever I was thinking about. What I've discovered in my practice is it is better, in my opinion, to try and meditate or go for a walk and clear your mind another way than it is to try to have the negative thoughts and do qigong. What I feel like I'm noticing is qigong, because it's a chi building, it's energy, it's pulling energy into you. I feel like sometimes if you're in a negative loop, the practice doesn't um make it more intense. I want to be so careful because I'm only speaking about my own experience. The practice doesn't make your thoughts more negative, but it's helping you build chi in your body. And so if you're already on a negative loop, that can, I find, be kind of almost energizing in a way.
Yeah,
um
it energizes the negative thought. It kind of like gives it fuel to keep moving.
yes.
Yeah,
So that's all I'm saying. It's not the practice. I'm the one having the thought, right? So it's
right.
not, has nothing to do with qigong. But I've noticed that when I'm in a little bit of a negative thought pattern, it just might make more sense sometimes to shift the practice just a little bit, so that maybe qigong is something I do at towards the end of the day, or after I've gone to the park and sat near a stream for like an hour, because listening to water, listening to the sound of nature helps with that parasympathetic nervous system. It helps relax the body, it helps you feel safe a little bit more. So finally I can get into a space where my mind is clear and I feel so much better. And now I'm in a space where I'm ready to do the qigong. So that is something that was totally unexpected, but alas, I've noticed. And then of course I feel like, as far as herbalism goes, I think I see myself more as a spiritual herbalist, hence priestess. um, when you're working with your plants intentionally and you're doing your morning concoction, mine always has vitality tonic in it. That's a part of the 21-day qigong practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a body practice and it's a mind practice. So the herbs inside of vitality tonic help the body adapt to stress. It helps with immunity. It helps with energy, natural energy over time. And it also helps with mental clarity with that lion's mane.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that when I combine that herbal concoction with the qigong, I get a really nice big benefit. I'm on sort of my own little high because I'm taking
Mm-hmm.
my herbs, a natural high, guys,
Mm-hmm.
and not having anything to do with marijuana. And then the qigong kind of just enhances that. So I'm set up at the start of
Mm-hmm.
the day in a really beautiful high place, and it's just my job to stay there, right? Choosing the thoughts, choosing the conversation, choosing the videos that I consume very carefully, because all I want to do is enhance that. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully by the end of the day, I'm still riding high, because the combination together just sets me up so well. So I hope I answered that question.
Oh no, for me, very well. You know,
Yeah.
the people in the comments, you can guys can let us know. You can always type what you if you want to ask her a question and we have enough time, ask a question.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I call my soul awakening conversation signature question.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Yeah, I've changed. The divine has grew me quite a bit.
Mhm.
Okay, in your journey as the potions priestess, have you experienced a moment where you felt your awakening on a soul level? Like a time when you felt yourself truly emerging from one version of yourself into another, or flowing with your purpose into a deeper way. And this
Yes.
means this is part of the reason why it's signature is we get to flow,
Mm.
right? We get to emerge. We're constantly emerging. Every new day is us emerging. We get to emerge into a new version of ourselves every day.
Mm.
We get to close our eyes at night. That's our sleep cycle gives us a moment to reset,
Yep.
right? And it gives out the body time to lay down and
Mm-hmm.
the soul to go out and play, whether it's going and traveling the cosmos, or just sitting there watching us sleep, or whatever our higher being chooses to do in that moment of time. And then the moment we have that awakening, when we open our eyes, we get to have a new reset. We get to make a choice. Do I want to go back into what I already was in, whatever that situation or circumstance, whether it was negative or positive? We get to make that choice. So this question is not just the potions priestess, but the whole kit and caboodle of you, right?
Yeah. I did have a time where I experienced that, and it was actually in session with my mentor, whom I talked about earlier, Parrish. And it was a really deep session. We were on the phone for hours, connecting with spirit. And during that session, even when I go back to the recording, I can hear the difference in my voice, in my tone, in the way I was responding. Just, it was me at a different level, um, or more of me, I should say. Yeah. It was just more of me that showed up. And what I noticed about me in that session, I didn't talk much. I was, it's beyond just being a sponge. I felt like I was overstanding a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything, but a lot of things. And I was open. And after that session, it felt like the whole world was magical. I was
Mm-hmm.
just on a different frequency. And I felt like I understood m- in a different way what I was doing with these plants. And I had a different vision for where I might be going in the future, which is
Mm-hmm.
just another now. And I remember moving around my apartment differently. You know, everything was sacred. I didn't even want to listen to too much words. I remember just playing like music with no words on it and sweeping my living room and being quiet and feeling completely still and comfortable and nourished and relaxed, and insights coming to me, downloads coming to me. I felt flowing energy coming through me. And I just felt like, oh, so is this what it feels like? This is what it feels like to really embody who I am. I'm still sweeping. This is what it feels like to be all of myself, be more of myself. Okay. This is what it is. Okay. This is how I want to feel all the time. Um, if I have to be honest, it's a space I'm able to get to, but I haven't been able to maintain all of the time. And I'm okay with that. There's no judgment because but I've gone there and I know now the difference between who I am when I'm Jelisa and I'm performing and I'm efforting and I'm trying to prove my worth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The small me versus this bigger me who ain't worried about none of that. Because you can't tell me when I'm really all of me, you can't tell me who I am. Only I can tell you what's going on and how all this works. You know, I hope that it was
No,
okay.
that totally makes sense because
Okay.
what I vibrationally got was that when you're in all of you, that
Mm-hmm.
little me is pulled into it. It's whole.
Mm.
You pull in. You've actually, um, 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 you actually are vibrating in what wholeness is,
Yes.
what the surrender of wholeness is, right? It
Yes.
doesn't mean you have to be in it all the time. For me, I learned that as well.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in that vibration of wholeness, and I feel, I time looks so different to me.
Mm-hmm.
But me walking around, I feel strong. I feel everything feels effortless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the stuff that I'm going through, I'm doing physical therapy for my hip and my knee, and I've got all these wonderful um uh, what would I call them, uh not caseworkers, but they're physical therapy workers that are moving for my highest and greatest good. I can feel it. I can feel the
Wow.
interaction, right? Where I'm not resisting them, they're not resisting me. It's not about, it's about, it's I've experienced everything that I'm going through non-resistance. Now I understand what that which you resist will persist.
Mm.
Now I truly understand it because I've stepped into that vibrational me, that vibrational now moment of me when I wake up in the morning and I go, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be now? And I say to the divine, show me that vibrational now me. Show me what that looks
Mm.
like. And be open to, oh, she's joyful today. Oh, I want
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to be non-judgmental today. Oh, I want that, right?
Yeah.
She's going to take time for herself today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of service to all. Because when I notice that it's service to all, I'm part of the all.
Yeah.
Whoa. So this what I went through with, doing my surgery and doing my radiation treatments and uh, merging modern medicine with holistic medicine, with
Mm-hmm.
realizing that my body is, I'm spiritual, yes, I'm physical, yes, I'm conscious, yes, and my consciousness of who I am is awareness, and I can step into it every now moment, which is, whatever the now moment. I could be standing in the line at the I've actually stood in the line at the grocery store and said it would be so nice if another station would open up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I look and somebody's, the station has opened up and they're saying, come here,
Yeah.
right? And just being in that now moment, that version of me that, oh, it would be so nice. Who would I be if that happened? Well, I'd be very joyful and I have a smile on my face and I tell the cashier, whether it was male or female, thank you so much. Have a great day today.
Mm,
That kind of thing, that kind of thing, right?
hmm.
So it's knowing that we're growing, but we don't have to grow perfect,
You're right. Exactly.
right?
And exactly. And I love what you were sharing because I've experienced that too. And I think the beauty of, being a potions priestess is I always have my potions and they're powerful and beautiful and a reflection of me. And what I've been able to do and what I hope I'm able to share, with my Qigong challenge on TikTok and Instagram is that when you work consciously with the tools around you, my tools are herbs, and my tools are potions. I love potions, um, all types of potions. When you work with them and you do so consciously and you really integrate them into your life, for me, it's an invitation to remember that version of yourself and
Yeah.
to back into the feeling and to practice the being while you are doing a very simple action so you don't get too into the I'm not into as of now um a lot of involved rituals and it gotta be this time of the day or this quarter of the moon and then the candles and the incense and you gotta say this chant. That's all cool, by the way. I love that. But with me, magic is very, very simple. It's taking your water for the day, adding your herbs, shaking it up, knowing that you're activating your prayers and really speaking life into it with every fiber of your being with great intention, and knowing and believing in your own ability to affect other molecules, other energies, and then taking that energy, who you were when you did that thing, with you throughout the day. And what you experience is magic. I've had that experience, Sandra, also of like going into a space when I'm in that high frequency because I'm doing my thing and I have my plants with me and noticing how my energy influences other people. I don't know if this is the experience everyone has in every state, but that post office, man, I don't know if they're working those people too hard or what kind of pressure they are in, but sometimes they can really, be a little edgy where on the East Coast at least. And
Mhm.
what I've noticed is when I come in with my high frequency and my patience and my love, even if I don't love this person personally, I'm in that.
Right.
I don't have to say anything too much. I don't have to do too much. Hi, how are you? I'm polite. And it lifts them up some way, somehow. I don't know. It's just an energy thing. So um, I encourage everyone to practice, you know, tapping into that energy um, and practicing who they're going to be everywhere. So anyway, sorry. I got a little distracted.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Well, okay, so we're almost at the hour mark, which I love.
Mm,
So with that, is there a question that you want to ask?
hmm. Yeah.
And I'm open to you.
Sandra, I really appreciate the way you show up online. And I've asked you a few questions the last time we were able to connect. And I'm so happy to be here now. I'm wondering, what has your journey with plants been throughout your life? How has it evolved?
Okay, so there's two ways I can answer that. Internally, I'm just now learning about plant-based, you know,
Mm,
holistic meds. I've had family. when I was married, my one of my ex-husband's sisters was
Acupuncture.
acupuncturist,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one was into herbs, and she was into holistic medicines and whatnot. And coming through as I was coming as I was I don't know how to put this. As I was growing, not in my spirituality, but while I knew them, I was I was just embarking on the spirituality of not spirituality, the manifestation part of that. I had just started to learn the secret, and
Mm.
and the law of manifestation, the law of attraction. So I was just coming into that. So I had just started to open up to more holistic based and Eastern based kind of techniques. So I'm still, man, I love it. I'm still on that journey. I've just learned about soursop. I've just
Mhm.
learned about uh, noni, not just the noni powder, but also the noni juice, that Trader Joe's has. I just started to learn about. Some people saying don't drink the juice; it's too fermented. And then I found the website for noni from Hawaii that does it
Mhm.
that does the noni product in like pressed strips, right?
Mm.
So where it's not fermented. So I'm just learning all of that. So I would not be a person that could give total information to somebody and say this is the way to go, because
Right.
I'm still I'm still using it for my body. I got from my oncologist, the specialist. He's the specialist, the big guy. So I saw him on when was it? I think it was Monday evening. I was his last client for the day, and he says, "I'm so glad you're my last client of the day, because this is great news. Everything looks good. I'm not going to have to see you for another 6 months, but we want to keep, you're doing a great job, you know." And he responded. He told me, "You were so great to work with," because I did not resist the information that they gave me,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
The information that they gave me was part of what I needed to know so that I
Mm.
could sit down with the divine and say, okay, what do we do now? So when I told him and all the different doctors that were involved, they call themselves my care team. I'm going to tell you, I had a great care team. That care team came straight from the divine.
Mhm.
That care team were higher beings that said, "Oh, okay, it's time for us to show up for Sandy. This is the time we're going to show up. We may never ever see her again,
Mm.
but this is the time that they're going to show up." And I'm going to
Wow.
tell you, every one of them were they listened to me, and I truly believe unconditionally listen to me. Now they couldn't, like, you know, they still worked for the hospital. So they might not be able to, agree and put it down in the chart or whatnot, but they said, okay, you can go ahead and do the herbalistic, remedies. Go ahead and do those. Please think about taking, you know, this, for your high blood pressure, because my blood pressure was off the roof.
Mm.
Okay. And they were saying, we don't even know how you're still walking around.
Mm.
You should be like in the hospital, getting whatever you need to get to bring it bring it down. You're sure you're not dizzy? You're sure you're not this or whatnot? But I could have been. I just didn't put two and two together until they showed me the two and two. And I went,
Mm,
oh, okay. And I told him, I said, yeah. I said, I'll take that. I've taken it before. I don't need to know what the side effects are because that's not going to be my story. I'll take that. But meanwhile, I found out the beetroot powder and beets. I'm not a great fan of beets. I'm just not.
mm-hmm.
I don't like the smell of them, and sometimes beets can give me a headache, right? But I said, okay, I'm going to try the beetroot. Okay, like I said, I started with putting it in juices, and I would make juices. I would go get the blueberries and I'd go get the oranges and whatnot. And sometimes I didn't have it. I would just take regular orange juice, put a teaspoon of the powder in it, blend it in my bullet, and then take and it would make like one of those containers, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
would just every morning I'd take a shot of it along with my soursop in the morning before I put anything in my body,
Mm,
right? I would, like you said, like we talked about earlier in this episode, I would talk to it. I would give it thanks.
yes.
I would give it thanks. I would thank the divine Mother Earth for giving me this opportunity to be able to utilize her medicine, right?
Yeah.
And to remind it what it needs to do for me,
Mm-hmm.
because that was my embodiment of it. That's intention plus energy, and I'm telling it what it needs to create for me. Because
Mm,
energy is here to create,
yeah.
whether it's in form or not. So in the form of, so I learned about the noni product. I learned about soursop being for DNA reactivation. I learned about noni being for immune system reactivation. I still don't know all I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I can share it with people, but I can't, I give no guarantees,
Yeah.
right? The only guarantee that I can tell you is if you embody it, right? That's how the what do you call that placebo pill worked.
Yeah.
The people that took the placebo pill, they didn't know it was a placebo. They didn't know it was water and sugar.
You're right.
But they knew that it was going to heal them, so they put the energy and the embodiment in the pill. I don't know if they said thank you to it, but they believed they were going to be healed, and then they were, because their body said, oh, you want that, okay, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So that's where I am with the herbs. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still learning. I
Yeah.
learned from you. I learned from a lot of other people. Even I've never been a marijuana person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because I think it's bad. It's because I tried it. I didn't like the taste that it left in my mouth. And
Mm-hmm.
at that point that I tried it, it wasn't doing anything for me.
Right.
And it was because I had a different story that somebody had given me for it. It was
Mm.
about getting high and feeling the woohoo.
Mm-hmm.
But marijuana isn't, the divine, the creator, did not create marijuana to be good or bad. It
No.
it created it so that you could utilize it for whatever purpose it needed to be utilized in your body.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I hope, did that kind of answer your question? Did I leave something out of it? Let me know.
No, I think it answered my question, and I love that you talked about so many things that sparked something in me. I felt like that staff that you were talking about were 100% responding to your energy. You know what I'm saying? They're responding to you. I believe that about everyone. They're responding to your energy, even if you show up, Sandra, and you never say a thing. They're still going to respond the way they were because of who you are. That's what I was feeling when you were talking. And also, I think surrender is a big piece when it comes to the plants. And I like what you said about I make no guarantees. I'm sharing my journey with the soursop and the noni and the benefits I'm experiencing and how I'm working with them, but I make no guarantees. And I think that's a really healthy place to be because everyone's at their own level. And I do think surrender is a big piece of that. When I had that vision of those plants in that giant tree, it was a cacao ceremony, so I wasn't tripping. It's just cacao, but cacao is powerful medicine,
Mm-hmm.
if you allow it to be. And, what I got from those plants were it's not, come over here and we're going to go inside of you and fix all your problems. It's no, we're here to help. Be open, be
Right.
receptive, and let us do our thing. And so, what I feel when it comes to any sort of medicinal medicine or anything that you offer people, you just have to be mindful of where they might be in terms of consciousness. If you genuinely believe that plant medicine isn't going to work for you, that doesn't matter to me because plant medicine will still have a benefit on your body. But could it be more effective on a spiritual level? Even on a physical level, if you were more receptive in your energy? I believe it is.
Right.
Your attitude is everything. So, and I
Exactly.
also believe people's attitudes when they're working with your plant medicine matters too. That's why I'm working on my end to look into regenerative farms because the way they treat the land it comes from matters. Their attitudes as they're, you know, tending the land matters. The packaging, the way people package it, the 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 vision running the business matters. It trickles down into the employees and it trickles down into the end product. All of
Yeah.
that affects you. I feel the difference personally when I get a coffee, by the way, even though I love coffee from just about anywhere in Latin America anyway. Um, I feel the difference in a coffee from a brand that really is about something.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
my phone paused for a minute because a call was trying to come in. So it
okay.
kind of it muted you. So the last maybe 3 minutes that you said, could you repeat that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I was talking about the fact that surrender is really important when it comes to plant medicine. And where you are energetically is very, very important. I think the more open you are to the medicine, the more benefit you receive. And it's not about you believing in its magic more or, knowing everything about the plant. If you are just receptive in your energy, you're going to get a much bigger benefit from this plant,
Hmm.
period, because you're open to receiving. Thank you,
So
Parish. Official Sexy
what
Spirit
did it
TV
say?
is here. She says abundant blessings. Let's share this live with 5 people. Thank you. Um, and I was also saying the attitudes of the people handling your plants matter. That's why I myself am looking into regenerative farming.
Hmm.
People who use that technique because the way they treat the land matters and the ethos behind the business, the vision behind the business that's running the business trickles down from the highest employees to the people who do the picking to the end product. It all affects the energy of the plant. And I think all of that matters in terms of what it's able to accomplish inside of your body. So um, that's just one thing I wanted to share as well. You can
This is
feel
my
the
dog right
intent.
here.
Yes. What kind of puppy?
He's 10 years, 10 years, I call it 10 years young. He's a Shepherd Lab mix. He's probably got a little bit of Chow in him,
Oh,
you know.
that's so sweet. We have a husky Dalmatian. He's very popular. He has one brown eye, one blue. And even though he's a grown man, he's 5 years old, he's still my baby. I love this
Of
dog
his.
so much.
Yes, I
He's
do
a
too.
baby.
I give him, and to talk about herbal, I went and got turkey tail powder,
Oh yeah.
right? And I put it in his I boil him sweet potatoes. I bake
Mm-hmm.
him salmon. I
Mm.
have cut his kibble in half, and
Mm.
I mix the turkey tail in a little bit in his sweet potatoes every day. and I give that to him. So, and he has gotten a lot of energy back, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
so just like you said, I'm learning the process. I'm not. I think I will I will be a person that does both. Uh, please share my compliment if she can't see.
He said, I love the braids, gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm sorry I did not see that come through at all. Thank you. It's weird. We are not gonna talk about Instagram and what works and what doesn't. We're just gonna go with the flow, right?
Mm,
But thank you so much. And I love my little ponytails.
I love that. Yeah.
Thank you. Um,
Mm,
what was I saying? I'm learning. I'm learning to embrace my triune the embodiment of body, mind, and soul. I'm
mm,
learning so much more about my chakras. I'm learning so much more about my quantum, all my different quantum fields that surround me. Um, I'm learning that infinite possibilities get to change and shift and grow and expand me. I'm learning that in certain areas, I can go from understanding standing under something that doesn't make sense, and then taking it in, internalizing it, and asking questions, and uh sometimes it's not about always about people asking me questions about something. It's me asking them.
mm,
And this has been a soul surge of love for myself, for body, mind, and soul, trying to, not trying, actually encouraging my cells to reproduce,
mm.
to regenerate. The moment that I found out that my body was created to heal itself, and this body was meant to live hundreds and hundreds of years, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's moving so fast. Can you see some? I want to include everybody.
Yes. Mission Nonstop 21 says, bliss up. Thank you for being here. Solarium.garden is here. I am Rebel Brain is here. Hi, Rebel Brain. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Oh God, Mission Nonstop got the updates from official sexy spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Happy
And
birthday.
happy birthday. Is it your birthday?
Mission Nonstop.
Mission Nonstop, happy birthday.
Mm.
Do you mind if I sing happy birthday to you? Happy
Happy
birthday to
to
you. Happy
happy
birthday to
birthday to
you. Happy
happy
birthday, dear beautiful
birthday.
person.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday to you. That's cute.
And so we're at the hour 15 mark. I
Hmm.
do have to take my little precious pooch out to, he's got a play date. Yes,
Mm,
yes, he does have a it's a greyhound. She's 10 years young too, that
mm,
he goes to play with, right?
mm.
So
Absolutely. Well, I deeply appreciate you so much for having me, Sandra. I would love to do this again. I'm going to be up in your DMs, and I just want to share. My name is Jelisa. Once again, I am the creator of Priestess Potions online. It's an online herbal apothecary and plant sanctuary, and I talk more about the power of plants on my page at Priestess Potions here on Instagram and on TikTok. So, Sandra, are you able to? Not just tag, but add me as a
collaborator, yes,
yes. Okay,
yes,
beautiful, because I want to share this as
yes,
well.
I will do
Perfect.
that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I've already done that. And just so you know, guys, what happens is I know that Instagram does not make it easy when you go back in to look for, certain videos after the live turns into a video. So I do save these onto my YouTube, which will is also in a playlist, and it is also on my Spotify. And I
Mm,
will let you know when that uh, updates to my Spotify, so that um, if you've missed anything, which some of you did come in late, this will be in replay. All right.
mm,
It will be in replay on my YouTube. Give it a day or two. It will be in replay on my Spotify. And I am growing my Spotify. I don't have that many followers. I think I might have 10. I'm doing all the back end. So guys, be patient with me. I'm learning all the processes and grow with me,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
It's kind of like emerge and flow. So please emerge and flow with me, right?
Yes.
So you have told them that you are on Instagram and
TikTok.
TikTok. Are
Mm-hmm.
you planning to expand out into the YouTube world?
Yes, and I do have a YouTube page. I just update TikTok and Instagram way faster and more consistently.
Me too.
But the fact that you're bringing this up to me makes me feel like I should check out my YouTube page now.
Yeah. It's
Mm,
I feel I've just got the energy that you're expanding, and you're expanding a lot. You're expanding more than you think you're expanding.
mm,
And what the divine is a whole manga tekia na for se no it was not my design to speak light language, but I just okay. You would just say you're expanding a lot more than open your mind, open
mm,
your heart, so surrender to it because you're growing right now.
mm. Wow.
And your service to others is service to you. You're growing.
Mm, mm,
And Earth, she is so proud of you. Bena, 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 hushenataka, eshena, ena, kie,
thank you, Spirit.
asha, ashimboku, ena.
Mm,
She wants to know that she is so proud of what you're doing. If proud is the correct word,
mm,
and know that you are worthy of what you're doing.
mm,
Keep
mm.
holding space for her, with her. Let her move through you, in you. Yes, neti otienati, ashe.
Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to all the beings here right now. I'm so deeply grateful. Thank you for speaking to me. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Mm, I'm telling you,
Wow.
it was not my plan to
Wow.
to do light language on my soul conversations, but when the divine
Mm. I'm just so grateful and I feel so full right now. And I'm so happy because there are things I speak in my private moments with no one around, no one. And I don't talk to people about it. It's just me in the park by this water and I just say things. So now I'm here and it's like I'm getting a response and through someone else. And I'm just so deeply grateful because you can't plan things like this. You can't make it happen. It has to happen organically, and it just happened. So I'm just so grateful for that. I'm so happy. Thank you. I'm happy I showed up. I'm so happy I'm here.
I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for accepting. I know it
Mm,
was kind of short notice, but it was, I woke up that now moment. I think I woke up like, I don't know, it was probably 4 o'clock when I started putting the the invite together,
mm,
and maybe even earlier,
mm,
and before I knew it, after I sent it off, it was like, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I said, what did I just do? I just sent it to her. She's going to get a ding if she can wake up, and am I going to wake her up too early? Is she already at work? Is it going to, and the divine said, slow your roll,
mm,
you know,
mm.
the invite came from the divine. So I'm right on
Wow.
time. Right. So
Yes. Thank you. Thank
yes.
you, Spirit. And I look forward to communicating with you again, also in the DMs. Mm,
Yes, we will be doing a part two. We
yeah.
definitely will be.
Mm.
By then, I will have grown a little bit more in my herbal remedies. So,
Oh, and have
thank
fun. Yes. Mm.
what is it? Mission One Stop. She's always ready. All
Mm.
right. So thank everyone for coming in, being part of Soul Awakening Conversations, Emerge and Flow. Thank you so much. It will be in replay on my it will be in replay on Instagram. Okay.
Mm.
I there's nothing I can do to make it easier for you to find me. You'll just have to scroll through my when it turns into video, scroll through the videos. Feel free. It will also be in my videos on my YouTube, which is Soul Awakening with Sandra, Instagram, Soul Awakening with Sandra, and my Spotify podcast, also Soul Awakening with Sandra. So
Mm.
join me there. Subscribe, like, share, and let's grow. Let's emerge and flow. Thank you so
Yes.
much for
Thank you
being
so
part of
much.
this.
Thank you.
One love, guys. Bye.
Mm.